Good afternoon, everyone, or maybe I should say good evening. We're going to be taking a walk through this hazardous, thick wildfire smoke that is really peaked and moved into the New York City area in the last hour. And I'll tell you where we're going to walk and all that other stuff. But first, look at that sun up there. I don't know if you guys can even see that sun. And you could barely see the bridge that we're going to be walking past at some point. So anyway, welcome in. I want to just give a little side note. I am recording this on July 16th at around 7 p.m. Earlier today, I did a long 6-mile walk from the Lower East Side of Manhattan over the Williamsburg Bridge, through Williamsburg, into Greenpoint. It was a long walk. Originally, that was going to pop up tomorrow. I am going to flip the order because I want to get this one out sooner. So when you do watch that one, you might wonder, if it's out of order. Yes, it is going to be out of order. So I just want to give you guys a heads up. As you can see, it is really smoky. So speaking of that walk that I did, I'll give you what it was like today. Here we go. I was just talking about this. See this guy fly right by me at like about 40 miles an hour on a scooter. I was just talking about this yesterday. We'll probably see a lot of that. Where were my thoughts? So earlier today I did that walk and we did have a wildfire smoke situation then, but it wasn't as thick as it is right now. This is really crazy. Still not as bad as it was a couple of years ago. The one a couple of years ago really takes the cake because that was so thick you could see it on the grounds. This, you can see it, in the air. If you look over here towards Fort Hamilton Army Base, you can see it. Temperature right now is 88 degrees. Our heat wave is stayed intact today, and I'll tell you why and how. You can see that breeze that's coming in towards me is very warm breeze. It is 88 degrees right now. It did hit 90 very early on my walk, on the walk that I recorded earlier today, that you guys will see on Saturday. It hit 90 and it stayed at 90, and then this came in and starting to drop the temperature down. So technically the heat wave stays intact because we had 3 days of 90 or better temps. Today was the third day, and now the heat wave should be over because after today temperature is only going to be in the high 80s. So we had a temperature, I think it was around 96, between 96 and 98 on Tuesday. Yesterday on Wednesday, it hit 100. I've been getting some comments about not on YouTube but in person, people that know me that watch my show, my YouTube channel. They were all talking about that the time and temperature clock on the funeral home showing 104 degrees. You can't even see Coney Island. Look, Coney Island is totally behind all that smoke and haze, so you can't even see anything. And even where we just got on, you could see it's starting to disappear. Now as we get to the bridge, we'll start to see the bridge better as we get closer. We are going to walk this is what we're going to do. We're going to walk to the bridge. We're going to go past the bridge. You know what? I don't know. We might either get off over there or maybe go down to 92nd Street. But we'll see. It's funny, while recording my earlier walk today, I made a point of saying that I'm taking a little bit of a break after today because I did a lot of walking today. We did a lot of walking today. We went over a bridge. We were all around the waterfront in Williamsburg. We went all through Greenpoint. We went all the way to the northernmost part of Greenpoint. Then we backtracked through Manhattan Avenue all the way to McCarran Park. So I had mentioned that it was going to knock me out for a couple of days. Well, here I am just a few hours later, and I'm right back on my feet through even worse conditions than what I experienced this morning. So, but this is definitely going to be a break for me after today. Ain't going to be a long break. I mean, it's like a couple days. So what does it smell like? What does it feel like? So it smells like, I don't know, it smells like chestnuts roasted on an open fire. It does smell like, you know, something is cooking. Kind of like when you walk by those chestnut pretzel hot dog stands in New York City during November and December. It smells like fire. It smells like, you know, like a wood oven, like a nice hot stove. As far as how does it feel, you know, it definitely, you know, I see some of these people on bikes and running around. I would not recommend it. It's not a matter of whether you can do it at the moment. It's a matter about later on. I had spoken about this a couple years ago. I said the same exact thing. It's not about now. It's about later. Later on, you're going to feel it. If you go running in this and you go biking and you're breathing heavy through your mouth or your nose, you're going to feel it later, not now. Those are for people without respiratory problems. If you have a respiratory issue, you're going to feel it in the moment. So this is a type of weather you want to stay inside. So it looks like we got our fishing contingent out as usual. They're always out fishing. I was talking about the sun. You can see the sun just over the bridge here. It's eventually going to disappear. You're not going to be able to see a sunset tonight. Anybody thinking they're going to get that nice big red round sun above the horizon, you're not going to get that. We might even see it disappear on this walk. As soon as it gets into that really thick lower layer, it's going to go away. The sky is not as orange as it was this morning. There was like an orange-brown tint to the sky this morning. It's not like that right now, and that is because, you know, the sunlight is going away. So a lot of the filtering through the atmosphere is going away also. So what you see is what you get. It's mostly like a murky, I like to call it like a murky, like grayish brown. Like I said, you can see these people are out riding their scooters, riding their bikes, running. Got some jet skiers out. I don't know if you guys can see the jet skis. There's two guys hanging out over here, and then over there's a whole bunch of people underneath the bridge over there, just messing around. One second, let me fix the camera. There we go. You can't even see Staten Island. I mean, it is that thick. And then if you turn around to look where we just came from, you can see there's nothing. So already can't even see home. That sun is starting to disappear. It's getting lower, and it is eventually going to be bye-bye in probably in the next 10 minutes. Traffic is light on the Parkway for this time of the night. Usually it's a little bit more heavier, but it's probably a lot of people don't want to be out in this. There's all those jet skis I was telling you about. There's about, I'm going to count them. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 jet skiers out here. I might be off that count by 1 or 2, but that's what it looks like, 15. Oh, well, these guys are actually playing football. You gotta be kidding me. I mean, this guy's going to grab a football. He better not throw it at me. I ain't catching it. God, come on. How hard is it to grab that football? Having problems there. I'll tell you, did he get it? He still can't get it. He still can't get it. He finally got it. He got it. So, score 1 for this for the jet ski guy. I've taken you guys through foggy days this year, and thunderstorms, and rain, and snow, and this is our... Well, we were in some hazy weather yesterday when it hit 100 degrees, but not like this. So this is, I guess, our first really thick, hazy wildfire kind of day. You can see the sun through the cables of the bridge there. You know what this reminds me of? Well, I said this. I said this when I recorded this earlier, so I'll say it again, so you guys hear it twice. But this reminds me of when I was living. We were living in New York in like the late 70s, 1980s, when you had all the really bad smog from the traffic, and back then that was when all those black exhaust fumes would come out of the back of the cars and the buses and the trucks. Also reminds me of 4th of July, when everyone would just light fireworks off at the same time. People don't really do that much anymore. It's kind of crazy though. It's kind of crazy that you can't see Staten Island. You could barely see it over here. I got this guy taking a photo of the sun through the bridge there. Last year we had a smoke condition, not as well. I guess it was just almost as bad as this one. I got some really good pictures. But like I said, I knew that, at a certain point the sun is going to go into this haze and we're not going to see anything. So you're not going to get like those great sunset photos. I think they had said that this was going to be the worst period of this condition. When I say this period, I'm talking about since a couple of hours ago till the rest of the night. I don't know how tomorrow's going to be. We'll see. But they say that this is going to be the worst of it. Last year, a couple of years ago, they said that, and then the next day was even worse. So you never know. There is the bridge. We got a small commercial boat coming in. Looks like a small rigger or something. A rigger, oil rigger or something. I don't know. One of those when they go in and pull stuff out of the ground. Well, there's the sun. If you could look really carefully, it's going away. That's it. It is now about to disappear. So you know what we're going to do? We're going to keep walking. I'm going to take you guys down 92nd Street. That is going to be the plan. 92nd Street. The sun has officially disappeared, so there is no sun to be seen. So that's it. Just like I said, it's going to be gone in the next 10 minutes. Well, I think it's 5 minutes. This event is happening all over the northeast quarter of the country. So these wildfires are northwest from here, hundreds of miles away in Canada. And this condition is affecting as far west as Chicago. Chicago, they were showing similar images from Chicago. So Chicago was in this pretty much all the way here to New York, Boston. It's even sweeping down the coast of New Jersey, so you might be seeing it as far down as Tom's River. I don't know if it'll get down to Washington. That is not a police car. That is a taxi. You got a taxi license plate. He'll get a nice ticket. Cop comes through here. Not supposed to be down here. Again, I was saying this in the last walk. You know, we got cars coming down here too. I mean, just cars. I've seen my fair share of motorcycles down here on the path. The other day was kind of. Actually, it was the day of the parade of ships. There was a heated argument between a biker and, well, I guess you could say me and it was not just me, it was a group of us. There was a woman that had her kids, a couple of old people, there was me, a couple of other photographers, there was even 2 firefighters, and this bike comes rushing through. And he had to slow down, obviously, and then he starts yelling at people to move out of the way. He says, "You need to get off of the road." And me, I'm the one with the big mouth. I'll tell you right now, I'm the first one to open my mouth. I'm like, "Bro, this ain't a road." So I pointed at the parkway. I said, "That's a road. This isn't a road." And then everybody else got in and was telling them, just get off the bike and walk. This is, not the day to be racing. I call them, we had a term for them back in the day. If you guys remember Lance Armstrong, the guy that, stingray. I don't know if he'll throw that back in, but anyway. What was I saying? So, Lance Armstrong, the guy that was winning Tour de France like 7, 8, 9, 100 times in a row, and then they found out he was doping, cheating the whole time. We used to call the race and bike people down here Sir Lancelots. Because they want to be like Lance Armstrong, but they never will be like Lance Armstrong. Sir Lancelot. These two have the right idea. They got masks on. The masks do help a little bit. I say a little bit because the particles are still going to go through the mask. The only masks you can really use that really knock this stuff out are those special masks, the big white ones. I forget what they call them. A surgical mask like what they were wearing is not going to really cut all the stuff out that much. See the bridge? as we are walking away. This is the last view of the bridge I'm going to give you. Well, when we get to 92nd Street, I'll give you guys one more view. We'll see if we can see it from 92nd Street. 92nd Street is the next overpass. I'll tell you what, the breeze over here north of the bridge is I mean, it's not cool, but it's not hot. It's actually very nice. It's cooler than it was before. It's 88 degrees when I walked out the door, so. The humidity has dropped a little bit too with the northwest breeze, so it's not as humid as it was, but it's still quite humid. You can see Shore Road Park across the parkway there. I call this bike path my backyard. This is a bike path that I have walked back and forth many times in the last over 40 years of my life. It's pretty much looked the same since it was installed in the 1930s, 1940s, except for this area where we are right now. They used to be, going way back, early 2000s, they had reconstructed this area right here. It used to be like a dip. It used to go down, like this area used to go down and that used to go up over there with a fence. Then they wound up leveling it all out. But this area used to be an area where a lot of people would fish because they would have the wall. There would be a wall over here, and then up there would be like the bike path. It was kind of weird. You'd have to either remember it to know what I'm talking about, but it was much different down here. There you go. This is a motorcycle right here. Oh, it's a moped. That was a motor. I heard the motorcycle right here on the parkway, and I thought it was them. You could barely see Staten Island out there. There's a bed and breakfast right across from us over in Staten Island. And they have a dedicated webcam, very nice webcam, with a nice zoom. They're on 24/7. And they're always showing views of the harbor and all that. And I could guarantee you can't see anything on their camera today. I'll be totally honest, it is a nice breeze. It's getting cooler and cooler the closer I get to the to the overpass. Sunset is not for another almost an hour away, so I guess you would say actual sunset. The sun has been lost in the smog for the last 10 minutes now. Normally you don't see a lot of fishermen set up in this section like you're seeing right now. This is, they must know something that I don't know. They're usually pretty good. They know exactly where to go. It's kind of amazing. But this is normally a section that you don't see a lot of fishermen. The sections you see the fishermen a lot grouping up like this, you'll see them over at the wall where we walked previously on the way to the bridge. You'll see a lot over there and a lot over by the bridge. And then the next big section of fishermen you'll see is down once you pass the 80th Street overpass. So between the 80th Street overpass and the 69th Street pier, you'll see another large grouping of fishermen. But this is the first time I've seen fishermen in this section. I've never seen this. Maybe they know the fish are choking and they're going to come up for air or something. I don't know. I love walking down here in the winter time at night when it's like really cold down here. I'm actually looking forward to that. You know, we're now in the middle of summer, so I'm looking forward to the fall already. I'm going to give you guys one look at the bridge when we get onto the overpass. I just turned around. It's almost disappearing. Looks like he caught that's a small flounder that he should throw back in. And they don't throw it back in though. The Parks Department and the EPA come down here and they do patrols. I see it a lot. What they'll do is they'll stop the car. You know, they're pretty slick the way you do it. Like, they'll stop the car like just beyond the overpass in front of us, and then they'll walk over and they'll start checking people's bags and everything like that. And if they see people are keeping fish that are too small, give them a fine. All right, so this is where we're getting off. We're going to walk down 92nd Street. Figure it's been a while since we walked down 92nd Street, so we'll do it. This will count as our 92nd Street walk. This overpass needs a lot of work. You see a lot of this broken up rock and stuff. They were just here doing some checks, some structural integrity checks. And that's why you see some of this broken concrete. They're probably gonna get ready to renovate this one. This overpass right here, this one and the 80th Street overpass, They've been around since the beginning of time, since they built this whole Belt Parkway and bike path area. All right, there's your bridge. You can barely see it. Traffic is really light. All right, we're gonna go up the stairs. Oh, look at this. Some tree damage from the last storm, which was, guess what, yesterday. So I didn't tell anybody this. We had a pretty nasty thunderstorm came in yesterday. Right after I did that walk, and if you remember, I had mentioned this thing got snapped right there. Look at that big, here, look at this big chunk. Look at that big chunk that came off the tree there. Look at that. That's what this is. I had mentioned yesterday that we had thunderstorms in the forecast, and we had a really nasty, windy thunderstorm that came through. If I would have known better, I would have planned the walk later, but I didn't, and I had to watch it from my window. It looked more like a dust bowl. It looked like a dust storm. It was very windy. This looks like it came down. Look at this tree right here. It came down and stopped. Look at that. That branch is just hanging. They got to clear this up. This is dangerous. Come down on somebody while they're walking. All right, let's get onto 92nd Street. All right, we are going to walk this to 7th Avenue. We're going to stop this at the golf course. That is where this walk is going to end. We are going to get to walk by one of my favorite homes to walk by in Bay Ridge. We call it the Dollhouse. You'll see. If you haven't seen me show it to you before, you'll see it on this one. It looks like a dollhouse. Like a perfect dollhouse. It's on the next block. Well, I guess I'll be taking another shower tonight. When I took that shower, when I got home from the Greenpoint Williamsburg walk, I thought that was it for me, and now here I am. It's a very good thing to be in shape, I'll tell you that. So one major benefit to being in shape, like this stuff doesn't affect me. Sounds like someone's playing drums. Actually sounds like someone's learning to play drums. I'll tell you a little story. I almost got an apartment when I was younger. I almost got an apartment in this building right here, right on the corner of Colonial and 92nd. And I went to look at it. Funny story. I knew something was wrong when he wasn't showing me the apartment first. First thing he shows me is this little book room that they had in the laundry room. It was like a little makeshift book room where people could sit down and read and all this other stuff. And I was like, yeah, I'm here to look at an apartment, not a laundry room and a book room. And he's showing me other places in the building. And finally, he showed me the apartment. It was tiny apartment. I was like, nope. That's okay. Show you some of these little 4 or 5 stair walk-ups. And I'm going to show you the dollhouse here in a moment. You actually go into the street here. There is the dollhouse I was telling you about, right there. Isn't that a pretty house? I mean, this house is amazing. They change the color scheme it feels like they change this color scheme every few years. I really enjoyed the last color scheme they had. This one's a little bit more, I guess, conservative. It's a beautiful home. And then right across the street from the home, you got those 2 nice homes over there. And then this tree right here, some people say it's like 300 years old, this tree. Look how big this tree is. Look at this tree. Is this crazy? That is a big tree. I'm gonna go all the way up. Let's look all the way up. Look at that. It's amazing how it has not, the rooting has not damaged the wall or anything. Maybe they redid it in the last 10, 15 years, but it's a very old tree. All right, let's keep walking. This block has a lot of different types of interesting styles of homes, like I'm going to show you right here before we get onto Ridge Boulevard. This home right over here, look how big these windows are. These are some really big windows. I'll give you guys one more look. Hold on, get past this van, and then right over here. How big those windows are. Those are some big bay windows. So, like I said, it is July 16th. And it is a Thursday. And as a reminder, like I said earlier, I recorded a walk this morning, a long one, nice 6-mile walk. But I'm gonna put them up out of order. This one will go up first, and then you will all see that one the next day. And you'll hear me mention how I was like, that's it, I'm out of commission. After that walk, I was out of commission. I'm going to take a little bit of a break. Well, as you can see, I decided to come out of commission for one little walk here in the afternoon. And this is going to turn out to be a 1-hour walk. I mean, the way we're going, 45 minutes. This is 3rd Avenue right here. 3rd Avenue is going to have the summer strolls coming up. Not this weekend, not tomorrow, but the next Friday, next weekend. The 24th is the first one, and then there's 4 of them. And let me get in the street here. This is always a like a tricky intersection. It looks like nobody is sitting outside today. Good choice. This is usually filled up, like with everybody in tables and chairs here. So. Let me see if I can get across 3rd before this light changes. I don't think I'm going to make it because I got these guys. Oh, I could do it. These guys are going slow. So. There goes Nino's Pizza. There's a Nino's and a Nuno's of pizza, right? There's 2 pizza places on 3rd, Nino's and Nuno's or something like that. The Nino's I just showed you, they're the one I always talk about. They have that really good pepperoni cup pizza that I would only recommend you eat once a year. It's got a lot of oil on them. I haven't had their pepperoni cup pizza, well, in about a year, so I guess I'm due. I'm due for some artery clogging pepperoni cup pizza. There's usually like cats hanging out around here. Let's see if there's any kitties. I don't see them. It seems like maybe because we're on the streets, but it seems like the smog has cleared up a little bit. And I'm basing that on the fact that I could see all the way down 92nd Street, so maybe it's kind of clearing up a bit. I was looking at the satellite, the latest satellite loop, and this section of the smoke that's coming through is the thickest, and there is a break after this that should be coming in through here tonight. So this might be it. This might be the break that's starting to come in now. Because if you notice, the visibility is starting to get better. This is 4th Avenue. You got the Brooklyn Pasta Bar right there. I've never tried it, so I don't know. You got Subway over here. I have had Subway here a couple of times. This is the one, though, that I've mentioned in the past that's like really expensive. They tried to charge me one time. They tried to charge me for a tuna 6-inch, $13. I said no. I was like, no, don't do that to me. So then I went to my usual Subway, which is on 3rd Avenue over on 87th Street, and they charged me $10 for that. So, yeah. It was bargain hunting. I mean, when you got to go bargain hunting for a Subway sandwich, I make my own sandwiches anyway. I do my own cold cuts, but you know, it's always nice to eat out every once in a while and just, you know, what I like to say, eat some sloppy food. I want to get across Fifth Avenue here. There's the bridge. You can see the bridge better, so yeah, the visibility is getting better. We're almost done. We are walking down to 7th Avenue. We just passed 5th Avenue, so I think, though, this time what we'll do is we'll get across the street here. I got to do this safely. Give me a second here. There we go. Just realized I have to eat something for dinner. I don't know what I'm gonna eat for dinner. It's so late. I'm gonna be getting home a little late, so I gotta see what I'm gonna do. So a nice, relaxing, hazardous walk, air quality wise. We got two 79 buses. That one is the packed one. Looks like one of them was late. That's the one. Look at everybody waiting. I don't know if you guys caught that, but there was a lot of people waiting on that bus stop for that bus. So that bus is going to get filled up. Everyone's going to get on that bus. I want to get across that intersection, Gatlin Place. We'll still have time after the walk light goes solid red. I just want to get across. I don't want to wait here because I'll be waiting for like 2 minutes. So you see that? So look at that, guys. You got two S79s going over the bridge and one coming back from the bridge. And this right here is a 50. This is a S53. This is the bus you take if you want to go to Fort Wadsworth. This used to be, when I was young, this was the mall bus. That was the bus you would take to go to the mall. The 79, I mean, it's not new anymore, but the 79's been around for about 20 years now. See the bridge out there? This is where you get on and off the bridge. I'm going to try and jump this right here, and here we go. Should be good. So this turned out to be almost it's going to be a 1 hour walk. Battery Avenue. These are dead-end streets that go right up to the perimeter of Fort Hamilton Army Base. And then over here is Poly Prep is over here, and then the hospital. We're going to be ending it. We'll end it right on the corner. I'll give you guys a nice little look at the pond. So I'll go back across the street for all of you just to see the little pond over there. The hot dog guy is not here. Probably left already. I don't know. He probably worked today. He works every day. He goes to the hospital. I want to thank everybody for tagging along. So we're going to be wrapping it up over here. This is one of the gates to Poly Prep. And like I said, as a reminder, the next walk you're going to see is the walk I recorded earlier today. The Lower East Side, we walked Delancey over the Williamsburg Bridge, through Williamsburg and into Greenpoint. So you guys will see that next, out of order. But I mean it now when I say it now. This is out. I am out of commission for a couple of days. I am going to take a break. Now, that doesn't mean I'm going to stay in for a couple days, but I am definitely going to take a break from the YouTubing. I am going to get off of the YouTuberoni diet for a couple of days. I need to get a little healthy, right? Actually, my YouTuberoni diet is a healthy diet, so... I can't say that for every YouTuber, but my YouTuberoni diet is very healthy if you follow it. If you decide you want to replicate it, I can tell you will lose some weight. All right, so this is 7th Avenue. I want to thank everybody for tagging along, and I will catch you all on the next one. So take care. Bye-bye.